But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for.
He can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea.
How is Crawford, his composure going to be like the moment a punch lands on him from Canelo?
Are you kidding me? Take that question back.
Yeah, why?
Because you're talking about Crawford.
Yeah.
He's
But
the,
weight classes,
he's the most composed guy. Yeah. What, you don't think he'll be prepared? You think it'll be a shock to him? No.
Crawford could beat Canelo Álvarez.
I think he's too small. But then again, I thought he was too small for Spence, so shows what I know.
Fighters are explaining why many believe Canelo Álvarez will overpower Terence Crawford in their upcoming fight. Boxing legend Mike Tyson isn't convinced this is a good idea. He's seriously worried about Crawford and feels this matchup could be risky for him. According to Tyson, Canelo's strength, size, and non-stop pressure make him a serious threat and could be more than Crawford can manage.
Mike, I gotta do this. Terence Crawford, tremendous fighter. You're a big supporter of his. He wants to move up 3 weight classes and fight Canelo. What do you think?
He can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. You know, I don't think, what would he have? I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. People have done things crazy like that before. It's just that he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
You posted the other day, there's a picture of you in a Rolls Royce, and you said, the quote is, "I can't remember how many of these I gave away." Tell me about that.
Yes, I don't know. Yes, when we used to have the money, it's safe. When I had money, you know, you're not accustomed to that shit.
Yeah, but not everybody's Mike Tyson. You're very generous. You're a genuine, nice person. Tillman told me that one time you lent him his car, he kept it for like 3 months or something.
I don't know, this shit. Listen, if you have money and you can't help nobody, then what's the purpose of having it?
David Benavidez sees Canelo Álvarez as a big inspiration. He thinks the fight between Canelo and Crawford is a strong and worthy matchup. His respect for Canelo's talent and success in boxing highlights his support and positive view of the fight.
Looks like it's going to come to fruition in September. What are your thoughts on that bout?
I have nothing to say. It's a good fight. And it's a good fight. I wish both of them the best.
All right, next question over here.
Do you use that for motivation at all? Like Canelo's like, you know.
I definitely do use that as motivation because if I was such an easy fighter and target, he would have came and beat me already. Just for him not fighting me lets me know how dangerous I am.
How would you approach a fight?
Is there scissors? Is there scissors? Ask for scissors. Go ahead.
How would you approach a fight with Terence Crawford if it was you against Crawford?
To be honest with you, if I fought Terence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thankfully I'm not.
Ryan Garcia points out Canelo's clear physical edge, mentioning his strength, size, and power. He says these factors give Canelo a big advantage over Crawford, who is coming from a lower weight class. Garcia feels this jump in weight could be a major problem for Crawford, making it tough for him to deal with Canelo's physical strength.
That's going to be a great fight, too. I can't believe they made that happen. See, Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
Last question, Ali. He said Teofimo and Boots are going to be on your October undercard.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
the
heard
winners
that.
would fight each other. Is that what you were told?
I didn't know that, but I'm
What do you think of that?
I don't care. Let's do it. I wanted to fight Teofimo too.
Last one, I gotta do this. I agree with you that there's a lot of sanctioning bodies, there's a lot of promoters, there's be more testing organizations, not just one. Tell me about that. Why are you so adamant about no lot?
I think that when a coach is pushing a certain organization, it just strikes me off weird. And for it to be like a mandatory thing, like why can't I use another organization, you know? But again, I don't want to talk about them because, you know,
Sean Porter has shared his concern about how Crawford will deal with Canelo's strong punches, knowing Canelo is known for his heavy hitting. Porter doubts if Crawford can take that kind of power, especially since he's moving up in weight. This worry shows the larger concern about whether Crawford can handle the physical pressure of facing a naturally bigger fighter.
The others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean?
Mikey Garcia believes Canelo will come out on top because of his size and power. He thinks these strengths will be key in deciding the result, with Canelo's physical edge making the biggest difference in the fight.
I'm not even a fan of that fight. They're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Yeah. Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160.
Yeah.
Canelo ain't gonna come down, maybe 166 max if he accepts.
Yeah.
I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor, and that's why I'm not even a fan of that fight. I think Crawford has accomplished everything he had to accomplish. From 140, 147, now 154. That's even great for him. He wants to do something, collect belts at 154, he can attempt that. But there's no money in that compared to a Canelo fight. And Canelo is trying to fight other guys, and at that point it's more of a big fight, for the money that's gonna generate. But as a fight fan, I'm not really a fan of that matchmaking. I'd rather see Canelo move up and fight somebody like Bitterbib or Bivol again.
Yeah.
If he wanted to challenge himself, move up to 175 again, and challenge himself against those guys. Not a smaller guy moving.
Roy Jones Jr. has spoken highly of Canelo's skills and respects Crawford's ambition to challenge top opponents. He says, if Crawford fails to beat Canelo, it could be a major moment in his career, especially since Canelo is seen as one of the best fighters in boxing.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying like, hey, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight, or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What does he got to prove to Boots? Boots trying to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win.
Robert Garcia has looked at the fight and leans toward a Canelo win, though he hasn't shared all the details. He agrees with most people who see Canelo as the favorite, likely because of his size, power, and experience in bigger weight classes. He also says Crawford might take the fight mainly for the huge payday, since he's already done enough in his career and lives a stable, responsible life. If the fight does happen, Garcia expects Crawford to do well in the first 6 to 8 rounds, but thinks Canelo will take over after that. While he respects Crawford's skill and strength, he feels Canelo's size and power will eventually be too much to handle.
It's a smart bet on Crawford-Canelo. Canelo by knockout or Canelo by decision?
Crawford by decision. And you have to bet?
Yes.
I say Canelo by decision. Crawford by decision. No, but you say Canelo by knockout or Canelo?
Yeah, no, because I'm saying that's what's going to happen. Canelo's going to beat him. But which one?
I don't know, man. Crawford is fucking gangster. I've always been saying, I think Canelo at the end, obviously his strength, his weight,
experience
probably takes over, but shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford just fucking boxes and fights smart and beats him.
He's probably gonna be 40 to 1 underdog or something crazy like that, right? It's not gonna be close.
No, it's gonna be close.
3 weight class,
maybe 3, 4 to 1. No crees?
Nah.
It's not gonna be that big of a deal. No.
When you pick the knockout? No. When you pick the knockout?
You pick a knockout. But if it's just
who wins straight out?
I think it's gonna be maybe 3 to 1, 4 to 1. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 2 to 1. Maybe 2
I don't think so.
Telling you.
So they finally announced Ryu's fight, Gary Russell. What do you think? Not easy fight? No easy fights at this level?
that's just.
It's gonna be finally. You guys will be the first time you ever going to a Tank fight, right? To work a corner.
We got one at Tank's fight.
Is Tank's the main event? Yeah.
Promoter Eddie Hearn has shown doubt about Crawford's chances against Canelo, pointing to the big weight gap as a major issue. He finds it surprising that Crawford is taking on such a tough challenge, and suggests that the size difference might be too much to beat.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Álvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Gervonta Tank Davis has praised Canelo, calling him one of the best boxers of this era and a great fighter. While he hasn't given a clear prediction for the fight, his respect for Canelo shows how highly he's valued in the boxing world.
Canelo is one of the top dogs in the sport as of right now, and he's a great fighter himself, so just having somebody like him to say I'm his favorite fighter is pretty, like, touchy. I think I'm the face of boxing already, if we being real. I think I'm the face of boxing right now. I think that Canelo going out the door, all the top guys, Canelo probably the only one, but he's going out the door.
Teddy Atlas has praised Canelo, pointing out that he's bigger, stronger, and more powerful, and a unified champion with a strong track record. He says facing someone like Canelo is a tough task, but also raises the question of whether Canelo can deal with a smaller, quicker, and more defensive fighter. Speed, movement, and agility could be major factors in this fight. Atlas notes that Canelo sometimes slows down with age, and that sharp footwork and defense from his opponent could cause problems. Since both fighters are getting older, their styles and strengths will be key, and the result will come down to experience, smart game plans, and how well they adapt in the ring.
Official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Álvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford against Madridov, people are going to say, "Oh, he had some hiccups." Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Madrimov was a little difficult to eat. He's not easy to digest. He's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right.
Sports commentator Stephen A. Smith has shared his thoughts on the fight, recognizing Crawford's skill, but questioning if he can hurt Canelo. He feels that if Crawford can't land strong enough punches, Canelo will keep pushing forward and use his power to take control.
But to me, can Crawford hurt him? I would pick Crawford to win if he can box and stay away. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. And if Canelo catches him, it could be trouble. But I would still say it would be a very interesting fight. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. And I'm wondering whether he could stay away. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer. But if he can't hurt Canelo, you can't keep him off of him. And that's where the problem lies.
What do you think a win like that would do for Crawford? Would that put him
Mayweather? He and I spoke about it. He and I spoke about it in Vegas when the UFC event was at the Sphere. It's a fight he wants desperately. He wants badly. He says it's a legacy fight. He thinks about Tommy Hitman Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and others moving up in weight, and he believes he can do the same, and he wants to do the same against a fighter the caliber of Canelo.
Stay tuned for more updates as the excitement builds around one of the most talked about matchups in boxing today.